Here's something most men aren't ready to hear. Ignoring people is one of the most powerful tools you can ever have. Not anger, not charm, not even brute force. Most men spend their lives trying to get attention, trying to please, trying to be liked, thinking that effort automatically earns respect. They're wrong. Dead wrong. The truth is uncomfortable, but you need to hear it. Power doesn't reward good intentions. It rewards strategic detachment. The ability to completely ignore someone without letting them know it bothers you is a skill most men never develop. And yet, this skill can quietly reshape your social world, your career, and even your personal relationships. Think about it. Every time you try too hard to be noticed, you lose power. Every time you respond to provocation, you give someone a weapon against you. Every time you beg for validation, you hand control over to someone else. The men who succeed, the men people fear or admire, understand this principle instinctively. They master what history's great strategists have always known. The art of selective attention, or in simpler words, the art of ignoring. Ignoring is not weakness. It's not emotional avoidance. It's strategic dominance. It's a way of silently asserting your value without having to explain it. It's a Machiavellian move that shifts power in your favor while keeping your intentions invisible. The moment you start reacting to everyone, you start losing. But the moment you learn to selectively ignore, you start controlling the game. Here's the controversial part. Most people who think they are in control are actually slaves to attention. They chase likes, replies, and approval, thinking it builds influence. It doesn't. The man who ignores is untouchable because he is unpredictable. He doesn't give away his energy, his focus, or his time to people who don't matter. And people respect power, not effort. Remember that. People follow strength, not struggle. Let's be clear. Ignoring doesn't mean being rude or careless. It means you decide who deserves your energy and who doesn't. It means you operate on a higher plane where most men can't even see you coming. It's ruthless, yes, but history, psychology, and even modern social dynamics prove it works. The more people try to get reaction from you, the more power you quietly hold. And when you use this skill, the world unconsciously begins to work around you. Now, some men will say, but isn't ignoring people manipulative? Here's the reality. Manipulation is everywhere already. Every time someone tries to provoke you, test your limits, or push your buttons, they are practicing their own form of influence. Ignoring them isn't immoral, it's self-defense. It's acknowledging that your energy is valuable and not everyone's entitled to it. If anything, the man who ignores masterfully is the man most in control of his life. This is not theory. This is Machiavellian psychology applied to the modern world. History is full of leaders, kings, generals, and even everyday men who understood that responding to everyone is losing before you even start. Every ignored insult, every silent dismissal, every subtle withdrawal of attention builds a quiet authority that no shouting, explaining, or arguing could ever create. It's invisible, it's subtle, and that's exactly why it works. The men who fail at this, the men who try to please, who respond to provocation, who constantly chase attention, they never see it coming. They are burned out, frustrated, and constantly at the mercy of others' whims. The men who succeed, the ones who command respect and fear, have learned a brutal secret. You gain power by removing yourself from the noise, not by drowning in it. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how to apply this principle to your life. You'll see why ignoring people isn't about arrogance. It's about strategy. You'll understand why selective attention is the weapon men who dominate social and professional environments use every single day. And most importantly, you'll learn how to use it without being obvious, without being cruel, and without burning bridges unnecessarily. Because let's face it, life doesn't care about your feelings. The world doesn't reward good intentions. People don't follow effort, they follow strength. And the strongest men understand the dark art of ignoring. They understand that sometimes the most powerful move is no move at all. If you've ever felt frustrated by people who don't respect you, if you've ever been ignored, underestimated, or dismissed, this is your wake-up call. The ability to ignore strategically is a ruthless, almost unfair advantage. And once you master it, you'll see doors open influence shift and your presence felt without saying a single word. So get ready. What you're about to learn is controversial. Some will hate it. Some will call it cold or harsh. But that's the point. The truth is not always comfortable. And the men who rise above the rest are the ones willing to act where others hesitate. It's time to stop chasing approval. Stop reacting to provocation. Stop giving away your energy. It's time to master the art of ignoring. 1. Why ignoring is the ultimate power move. Most men underestimate how much influence they lose simply by reacting. Every time someone provokes you, tries to test your limits, or seeks your approval, you are giving them control over your energy. It sounds harsh, but it's true. Responding to every slight, every comment, every interruption is a silent way of handing power to others. Men who rise above, the ones people naturally respect, understand this instantly. The strongest move is often no move at all. Think about it. In almost every aspect of life, work, social circles, relationships, attention is currency. And if you spend your currency on people who aren't investing in you, you're bankrupting yourself without realizing it. The key is selective attention. Giving your energy only to what builds your value and withholding it from what doesn't. When you start doing this consistently, people notice. Even if you don't say a word, respect grows silently. Influence strengthens invisibly. Here's how it works in real life. Imagine a man in a high-pressure office, always trying to please his colleagues and superiors. Every time someone criticizes him, he immediately explains, apologizes, or defends himself. Every time a coworker gossips or provokes him, he reacts emotionally. He's exhausted, frustrated, and constantly walking on eggshells. People don't respect him. They dominate him without even realizing it. Now, picture the same man deciding to stop reacting. He listens, he stays composed, and he does his work with focus. The gossip and provocations bounce off him like water on glass. He doesn't validate them with a response. Slowly, his colleagues begin to see him differently. Not loud, not defensive, but calm and unshakable. His silence becomes his weapon. Without speaking, without showing anger or fear, he has shifted the balance of power. This works because humans are wired to respond to cues. When a man reacts immediately, he shows vulnerability. His emotions are visible, and that draws attention and exploitation. But when a man withholds reaction, he creates uncertainty. Others cannot predict his behavior. They cannot push his buttons. This uncertainty, combined with calm confidence, is magnetic. People respect what they cannot control. They follow what they cannot break. And that is the essence of power in its purest form. Another crucial element is patience. Ignoring is not about cutting people off entirely. It's about timing your attention strategically. You don't have to respond to everything instantly, and you don't have to validate every opinion. The more deliberate and calm your actions, the more authority you convey. History's great leaders, generals, and tacticians used this principle instinctively. They understood that silence could be a louder signal than words. A quiet nod, a delayed reply, a composed smile in the face of provocation. These are gestures of dominance that speak louder than shouting ever could. The power of ignoring is also psychological. Humans have a natural desire for attention. When someone important doesn't give it, they feel an invisible pressure. Their attempt to provoke, manipulate, or influence intensify, often exposing their weaknesses. By withholding attention, a man forces others to reveal themselves. In other words, ignoring is not passive. It's an active strategy that puts you in control of the social dynamic without confrontation. It's worth noting that ignoring is not about being cold or cruel. It's about conserving energy and asserting control intelligently. The man who knows this can walk into any room and immediately command presence. He doesn't need to dominate through aggression or charm. He dominates simply by being untouchable, unbothered, and selective with his focus. People notice this instinctively, and it cultivates respect faster than any display of effort could. Consider the scenario of a friend who constantly seeks validation. He posts on social media, texts constantly, or tries to provoke responses from others to feel seen. People start to perceive him as needy, weak, and easy to manipulate. Contrast this with someone who only communicates when necessary, speaks when there's value to add, and ignores the noise. Others may try to provoke him at first, but the effect soon reverses. His calm detachment makes people curious, cautious, and ultimately more respectful. They begin to follow him, not because he begged for attention, but because he withheld it strategically, forcing them to meet him on his terms. Ultimately, ignoring is a form of psychological leverage. Every man who masters it understands that attention is the ultimate weapon. Reacting to every slight surrenders that weapon. Remaining calm, composed, and selective in giving attention keeps the power with you. The more consistent you are, the stronger the effect. People notice even subtle shifts, and in social and professional environments alike, this silent authority becomes unstoppable. In practice, this principle can be applied anywhere. A heated argument, a workplace provocation, or social manipulation. By keeping your composure, refusing to react impulsively, and being strategic with your energy, you gain influence that no words or actions alone could ever achieve. It's the kind of power that men who truly succeed understand instinctively, a quiet, invisible dominance that makes others rethink their position and ultimately respect you more. The lesson is clear. Stop reacting to what doesn't matter. Stop giving energy to people who don't deserve it. Master the art of ignoring, and you'll begin to command respect without effort. People will follow your lead, notice your presence, and treat you differently, all without a single display of aggression. The strongest men in history mastered this principle, and it is your turn to apply it. Calm, deliberate, untouchable, this is how you wield true power. 2. How ignoring builds unshakable confidence. One of the hardest truths most men have to face is that people don't respect effort. They respect presence. You can work tirelessly, prove yourself, or explain yourself endlessly, and most people will still overlook you. What they do notice, though, is composure. Calm, controlled, unshakable presence. And that's exactly what ignoring people gives you. Think about it. How often have you seen someone blow up over criticism, try too hard to prove themselves, or constantly seek validation? It doesn't matter how talented or capable they are. Their insecurity becomes visible. Other people can sense it instinctively. Now consider the man who doesn't react. He takes a comment in stride. He doesn't engage in every argument. He doesn't chase every interaction. That calm detachment sends a message louder than words. I am in control. I don't need you to approve me, and my value isn't defined by your opinion. Ignoring people builds confidence because it forces you to stop relying on external validation. Most men spend their lives looking for approval, from friends, family, coworkers, even strangers. It's exhausting, and it keeps your energy tied to other people's whims. The moment you stop chasing attention, you stop letting others control your emotions. You start measuring your worth internally, and that's a rare form of confidence. It's the kind that doesn't falter in public debates, doesn't crumble under criticism, and doesn't depend on applause. This kind of confidence is visible. People notice it, even if they can't put their finger on why. It changes the way they approach you, the way they speak to you, and the way they treat you. When you stop reacting to unnecessary drama, when you stop justifying yourself to everyone, you become someone others unconsciously respect. Your silence becomes louder than any argument you could make. That quiet control of your own energy is magnetic, and it separates men who dominate their environment from those who are controlled by it. Another reason ignoring builds confidence is that it teaches restraint. Most men react impulsively because they feel threatened, offended, or undervalued. But once you learn to hold back, to carefully choose where to invest your energy, your mindset shifts. You stop being a passenger in social interactions and start steering them. The awareness that you are no longer at the mercy of other people's emotions creates a sense of inner power that can't be faked. Confidence like this is unshakable because it isn't based on appearances, wealth, or popularity. It's based on mastery over your own behavior. It also makes you strategic. When you ignore unnecessary drama, you give yourself the space to assess situations clearly. You stop reacting emotionally and start acting deliberately. Every word you say, every move you make carries weight because it's measured. People notice that you don't throw yourself into every fight, every argument, every conversation that doesn't matter. That selective attention signals a man who has control, not just over himself, but over his environment. It's subtle, but it's powerful. Confidence from ignoring is also freeing. You no longer live in fear of judgment or rejection. You stop overthinking what people think of you. You don't bend to social pressure. You don't beg for approval. And you don't allow someone else's insecurity to shape your behavior. That freedom alone transforms the way you carry yourself. People see it, feel it, and react to it. It's the kind of aura that commands attention without demanding it. Most men will never understand this. They believe confidence is about showing off, dominating conversations, or proving themselves in every interaction. They chase status, likes, or attention, thinking it will make them respected. What they don't realize is that true confidence doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need recognition. It doesn't ask for permission. Ignoring, staying composed, and valuing your energy above all else cultivates a strength that can't be challenged openly. If you've ever felt drained by trying to please everyone, irritated by constant opinions, or frustrated that people don't see your value, this is why ignoring matters. It's not just a tactic. It's a mindset. It's a way of taking back control of your life, your energy, and your self-worth. You no longer react to chaos around you because you build a fortress of confidence within yourself. And when people notice that calm, measured power, respect, and influence naturally follow. The men who master this understand that confidence isn't loud. It's quiet, deliberate, and unshakable. Ignoring doesn't mean detachment from reality. It means detachment from unnecessary influence. It means understanding that your energy is finite, your time is valuable, and your focus is your most powerful asset. Every man who practices this knows that the respect others give him is a byproduct of his internal control, not his attempts to win approval. In the end, ignoring people isn't about being cold or uncaring. It's about becoming a man who can stand firm in any situation, unbothered, unshaken, and completely in control of his own confidence. That kind of presence is rare, it's magnetic, and it's ruthless in the most effective way possible. 3. Why most men fail to harness this power and how to wake up. Here's a truth most men refuse to face. You are weaker than you think. Not because of your circumstances, but because of how easily you hand over your energy to others. You react to insults, chase approval, get frustrated when people don't notice your efforts, and waste time proving yourself to people who will never respect you. If you're honest with yourself, you'll admit it. This is where most men fail, and it's not luck, talent, or opportunity that holds them back. It's their inability to master the simplest, most effective form of power, ignoring. Wake up. Stop letting every comment, every slight, and every distraction dictate your mood. Stop bending to the opinions of people who don't matter. Most men live their lives on autopilot, constantly seeking validation from friends, social media, co-workers, and strangers. They believe being reactive, loud, or visible earns respect. It doesn't. Effort without strategy is wasted energy. And the world doesn't reward effort. It rewards men who control themselves, their focus, and their presence. Ignoring people is a silent weapon that separates men who lead from men who follow. It's easy to say, I'm strong, I can handle criticism. But the reality is most men can't. Most men lose themselves in drama, lose confidence when challenged, and give away their power through overreaction. They let other people's opinions shape their identity. They get frustrated, angry, or anxious when attention is not given. This is why so many talented, capable men never rise. They are prisoners of their own need for validation. Here's the wake-up call. You are giving away your power every time you react to something meaningless. The moment you start to ignore what doesn't serve you, the moment you control where your energy goes, everything changes. People begin to take you seriously. Doors you thought were closed start opening because you are no longer desperate. Your focus becomes sharp. Your presence becomes undeniable. And your confidence no longer depends on what other people think. Too many men confuse being polite or nice with being weak. They think responding to every slight proves strength. It doesn't. Responding constantly is proof of dependence. It shows that your emotions and attention are available for manipulation. Ignoring, on the other hand, requires discipline, self-awareness, and control. It requires understanding that not every battle is yours to fight, and that the most powerful men are often the ones who choose which battles matter. Men, listen closely. Stop wasting energy on people who are irrelevant. Stop reacting to gossip, criticism, or provocation. Stop trying to justify your worth to anyone. Every moment you give to unnecessary drama is a moment stolen from building your strength, influence, and control. Wake up to the fact that life doesn't hand respect to those who beg for it. Respect is earned silently through composure, focus, and mastery over your own behavior. Ignoring is more than a tactic. It's a mindset. It's understanding that your value is internal, not external. It's choosing to prioritize your goals, your focus, and your energy over meaningless noise. When you adopt this mindset, you will notice a shift. People stop testing you. Challenges feel smaller, and your interactions carry weight without effort. You become untouchable, not because you are aggressive or loud, but because you're deliberate, calm, and selective. It's time to face the uncomfortable truth. Most men fail because they live in reaction. They let others dictate their emotions. They let their egos be bruised by every slight. They allow themselves to be distracted by trivial opinions, wasting energy on things that don't matter. You have the chance to break this cycle, but only if you wake up, only if you start seeing attention as a currency, not a right. Only if you start valuing your energy above everyone else's approval. This is your call to action. Stop reacting. Stop seeking approval. Stop giving away power. Start observing, choosing, and controlling. Start understanding that ignoring is not being cold. It's being intelligent, strategic, and disciplined. Start realizing that respect, influence, and dominance aren't given. They are quietly earned through mastery of self and energy. The men who rise are not the loudest, the fastest, or the strongest. They are the ones who understand that true power is quiet, deliberate, and untouchable. They don't respond to every challenge. They don't justify their presence. They don't waste energy proving themselves. They ignore what doesn't matter and focus on what builds their strength. That is ruthless, that is effective, and that is the difference between men who succeed and men who stay average. Wake up. Take control of your attention. Stop handing it to people who don't deserve it. Master the art of ignoring, and you will finally start living on your own terms. The silent truth about power. Here's something most men aren't ready to admit. People will never respect you as much as you think they should, and that's not because you're weak. It's because you give them too much control over your life. That may sting, but it's the truth. Life doesn't reward effort, niceness, or explanation. Life rewards results, composure, and presence. The moment you stop reacting to every slight, every insult, and every unnecessary opinion, that's when you begin to see who really respects power and who doesn't. Ignoring people isn't just a tactic. It's a declaration. It's a way of saying without words that your time, focus, and energy are not for sale. And the most controversial part? Most men will never understand this. They will judge you, mock you, or try to pull you into their chaos because they're still trapped in the habit of reacting to everyone around them. The louder they push, the more silent your control becomes. That's the kind of quiet, ruthless power that changes everything. And the world unconsciously recognizes it. Here's the other truth. The men who claim they are strong but react to every comment, seek validation, or fight for approval are living a lie. They aren't strong, they are dependent. Dependent on attention, approval, and recognition. And no matter how talented or hardworking they are, that dependence makes them vulnerable. Every insult, every provocation, every tiny setback becomes a lever for someone else to pull. Most men never wake up to this reality, and that's why so many capable men never rise. But you don't have to be like them. You can break the cycle. You can take control of your energy, your focus, and your presence. You can rise above the constant noise, the endless opinions, and the manipulations of people who thrive on reaction. Ignoring isn't passive, it's active, it's deliberate, it's ruthless in the most effective way. And the results? You become untouchable in the social, professional, and personal arenas of life. People start noticing you differently, not because you demand it, but because you quietly assert your value every day. Now here's something I want you to do. I want you to reflect on your own life. How many times have you given your energy to someone who didn't deserve it? How many times have you reacted, explained, or tried to prove yourself to people who weren't worth your attention? And how often did it leave you drained, frustrated, or overlooked? I want you to comment below and share your experiences. I read every comment, and I make it a point to reach out and connect with those who are ready to take control of their lives. This isn't just a video. It's a conversation, and I want to help you apply these principles in a real way. The most powerful men in history didn't earn respect by trying to be liked. They didn't argue, justify, or chase validation. They ignored what didn't matter, focused on what built strength, and let their presence do the talking. And here's the controversial statement that most men will resist hearing. If people aren't respecting you, it's not because the world is unfair or because you're not good enough. It's because you haven't positioned yourself as someone worth noticing. That's it. Harsh? Yes, but true. And until you accept it, you will continue to give away your power. This is why ignoring is so important. It forces the world to notice you on your terms. It forces people to show their true intentions. And it gives you a freedom that most men will never experience. The freedom to focus on what actually matters, to grow, and to succeed without distraction. When you master this, people may try to test you, manipulate you, or provoke a reaction. But you stay calm, composed, and untouchable. That's where real power lies. So take action. Stop reacting to unnecessary drama. Stop giving attention to people who don't deserve it. Start valuing your energy above all else. Begin seeing every interaction as a choice, an opportunity to protect your focus or waste it. And I want you to share your journey with me. Comment below with your stories, struggles, and victories. I read every single one, and I personally reach out when I see someone serious about mastering themselves. We're not just talking about theory here. This is about creating real change in your life. Remember this. Ignoring is not weakness. It's intelligence, not indifference, but strategy, not isolation, but control. Most men will never understand it. Most will continue to react, chase approval, and surrender their power. But you don't have to be most men. You can rise above. You can become untouchable. You can be the man who moves through life with calm authority, quiet confidence, and ruthless effectiveness. So start today. Start noticing where you give away your energy. Start holding back your reactions. Start focusing on what matters. And comment below. I want to hear from you. Let's make this a conversation. And let's make sure you never hand your power to anyone again.